You feel like you are doing everything right but still being treated as an afterthought. You are the one who stays late, the one who says yes to every favor, and the one who apologizes even when you are not at fault. You call this being a good person, but deep down you are exhausted, resentful, and unappreciated. This is not because you are weak or unintelligent. It is because you have been conditioned since childhood to believe a dangerous lie that being harmless is the same thing as being virtuous. You have been trained to hide your teeth, and now you are wondering why the world treats you like a servant instead of a sovereign. In the next 20 minutes, I am going to reveal the hidden psychological machinery of reality that they never taught you in school. We're going to dive into Carl Jung's concept of the shadow to understand why the world only begins to obey you the moment you stop trying to be the nice guy. If you do not learn how to integrate your inner monster today, you will remain stuck in a loop of mediocrity, watching from the sidelines as those who are willing to be the villain take the respect and the rewards that should have been yours. Stay with me until the final law, because by the end of this, you will not just change how you speak, you will change the very gravity of your presence. Learn how to integrate your inner monster today. You will remain stuck in a loop of mediocrity, watching from the sidelines as those who are willing to be the villain take the respect and the rewards that should have been yours. Stay with me until the final law, because by the end of this, you will not just change how you speak, you will change the very gravity of your presence. If you do not learn how to integrate your inner monster today, you will remain stuck in a loop of mediocrity, watching from the sidelines as those who are willing to be the villain take the respect and the rewards that should have been yours. Stay with me until the final law, because by the end of this, you will not just change how you speak, you will change the very gravity of your presence. The most dangerous man in any room is not the one with the loudest voice or the sharpest blade. It is the man who has decided that he no longer cares to be liked. For years, you have walked the earth in a cage of your own making. You call it being a good person. You call it being polite, or being a team player, or being a loyal friend. But Carl Jung saw through this mask. He knew that what you call goodness is often nothing more than a refined version of cowardice. We're going to dive into the deep, dark waters of Jungian shadow work to understand why the world only begins to obey you when you stop trying to please it. We will explore the precise psychological mechanics of how to integrate your inner monster and why becoming a threat is the only way to become a master. To understand why your current life feels like a series of compromises, you must understand the concept of the persona. Jung described the persona as the social mask we wear to make a good impression and to fit into the tribe. For the nice guy, the persona is everything. You have spent your entire life perfecting a version of yourself that is helpful and agreeable and predictable. You say yes when you want to say no. You apologize for things that are not your fault. You hide your anger and you bury your desires under a layer of false humility. You think this makes you a good person, but in the eyes of the universe, you are simply a man who has surrendered his sovereignty. When you are always available and always agreeable, you become a known quantity, and in the world of power, a known quantity is a controlled quantity. The world does not obey those who ask for permission, it obeys those who command space. Jung famously said that a harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who has his dangerous side under voluntary control. Think about that deeply. If you are incapable of cruelty, and if you are incapable of aggression, and if you are incapable of saying no, then your niceness is not a choice. It is a biological necessity for survival. You are like a rabbit who thinks he is virtuous because he does not hunt, but the rabbit does not hunt because he lacks the teeth and the claws. A lion who chooses to sit peacefully is virtuous because he has the power to tear the world apart, but chooses not to. Integrating the shadow means going down into the basement of your psyche and finding the parts of yourself that you have rejected. Your anger and your greed and your ambition and your capacity for coldness. These are the engines of your life force. When you cut them off to be a good guy, you are essentially cutting off your own fuel supply. You're running on empty and you wonder why you're exhausted. The moment you begin to integrate your shadow, the atmosphere around you changes. People who used to take you for granted suddenly feel a strange coldness in your presence. Respect is not born from kindness. Respect is born from the recognition of power. Let us look at the law of the integrated monster. Most people spend their lives trying to suppress their darker impulses. They try to be light and positive. But as Jung pointed out, the more you try to be a creature of light, the darker your shadow becomes. It starts to manifest in passive-aggressive behavior and in sudden outbursts of rage and in chronic depression. The nice guy is often the most resentful person in the room because he feels the world owes him something for his sacrifices, but the world owes you nothing. Integrating your shadow means acknowledging that you have the capacity for darkness and then using that darkness as a tool. It means having the teeth to defend your boundaries. It means being able to look someone in the eye and let them see the coldness in your soul. This is not about being a bully. It is about being a sovereign. A sovereign does not need to shout. He simply is. The second law we must explore is the destruction of the social contract. You were raised to believe that if you follow the rules and if you are a good boy, then the world will reward you. This is a lie designed to create obedient workers. The world rewards those who break the rules and those who define their own reality. When you stop being the nice guy, you stop waiting for the reward. You take what you want. You realize that the social contract is a one-sided deal that benefits the weak at the expense of the strong. Bin perspective is the threshold of true power. Now we must talk about the 5-second rule of coldness. In your next interaction, when someone asks you for a favor or tries to provoke you, do not give your habitual nice guy response. Instead, wait. Look at them with a blank expression for 5 full seconds. In those 5 seconds, you are killing the old version of yourself. You are allowing your shadow to sit at the table. When you finally speak, make your answer short and final. Do not justify, do not explain. If the answer is no, let it be a cold no. Watch how the other person reacts. They will likely feel a surge of anxiety. They will try to fill the silence with justifications. They are reacting to your shift in gravity. You have stopped being a servant, and you have started being a master. Jung believed that the path to wholeness requires the death of the ego. For you, the ego is the nice guy persona. You are addicted to the feeling of being a good person. You are addicted to the praise of the weak. To become powerful, you must be willing to let that identity die. You must be willing to be seen as the bad guy. You must be willing to let people be disappointed in you. The fear of being misunderstood or the fear of being disliked is the chain that keeps you in the cage. When you break that chain, you realize that being hated by the wrong people is actually a sign of progress. It means you are finally standing for something. It means you have a shape. A nice guy is like water. He takes the shape of whatever container he is put in. A man with an integrated shadow is like stone. He breaks the container. Let us examine the law of strategic selfishness. The nice guy thinks that selfishness is a sin. He has been taught to put everyone else first. But if you do not take care of your own kingdom, no one else will. Your time and your energy and your attention are the most valuable currencies you have. Most people are bankrupt because they give these things away for free to anyone who asks. To stop being the nice guy, you must become a gatekeeper. You must treat your presence as a premium resource. You must be willing to say no to your family, and no to your friends, and no to your community if their demands interfere with your destiny. This is not cruelty, this is self-preservation. When you are at the top of your game, you can help people from a position of strength. But when you are a nice guy, you are just a beggar trying to help other beggars. The world obeys the man who is comfortable with silence. You must treat your presence as a premium resource. You must be willing to say no to your family and no to your friends and no to your community if their demands interfere with your destiny. This is not cruelty. This is self-preservation. When you are at the top of your game, you can help people from a position of strength. But when you are a nice guy, you are just a beggar trying to help other beggars. The world obeys the man who is comfortable with silence. The nice guy talks too much because he is trying to ease the tension. He wants everyone to feel okay. But the integrated man uses tension as a weapon. He knows that in the gap of silence, people reveal their weaknesses. In any negotiation or any argument, the person who can sit in silence the longest wins. By staying silent, you are signaling that you are not afraid of the outcome. You are signaling that you do not need the other person's validation. This creates a gravitational pull. People will lean into you. They will try to please you. They will offer you better deals and more respect simply because you have the strength to be quiet. The fourth law is the law of the darkened room. To integrate your shadow, you must spend time in the dark. You must look at the parts of yourself that disgust you, your envy and your lust for power and your hidden hatreds. Instead of judging these things, see them as raw energy. Anger is just fuel for movement. Envy is just a map to what you truly desire. Power is the only tool that can protect what you love. When you stop judging your shadow, you can start using it. A man who has made peace with his internal demons is a man who can walk through any hell without flinching. This is the aura of the dark academic, the man who has studied the depths of the human soul and is no longer afraid of the dark. Jung said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Your current failures are not fate. They are the result of your repressed shadow sabotaging your life. You are afraid of success because you are afraid of the responsibility of power. You are afraid of love because you are afraid of the vulnerability of desire. By becoming the bad guy, you are actually taking responsibility for your life. You are admitting that you want things and that you are willing to fight for them. This honesty is more virtuous than any false niceness. The world recognizes this honesty. It recognizes the weight of a man who is no longer lying to himself. The fifth law is the law of non-justification. The nice guy is a master of explaining himself. He wants everyone to understand his intentions, but explanations are a form of submission. When you justify your actions, you are putting the other person in the position of a judge. You are asking for their approval. Stop. If you want to go for a walk, go. If you want to end a relationship, end it. If you want to start a business, start it. You do not owe anyone a paragraph of reasons. Your will is your reason. When you act without explanation, you project an air of mystery and authority. You are the source of your own law. This is how you train the world to obey you. They stop asking why, because they know the answer will always be, because I said so. Let us talk about the impact on your relationships. When you stop being the nice guy, your romantic life will transform. Women do not want a man who is a servant. They want a man who is a leader. They want a man who has a shadow, because a man with a shadow can protect them. A man who is too nice is a man who cannot stand up to the world. If you cannot say no to her, then she knows you cannot say no to anyone else. She feels unsafe because there is no weight to your character. When you integrate your shadow and start setting hard boundaries, she may test you. She may get angry. But underneath that anger is a profound sense of relief. She has finally found a man who is strong enough to be his own person. She has found a man who is not a puppet of his own fears. The sixth law is the law of selective brutality. This is not about physical violence. This is about psychological and verbal precision. In a world of noise, people are used to soft words and polite lies. When you speak the truth without a filter, it is a form of brutality. It cuts through the nonsense. A man who is no longer a nice guy is a man who is willing to say the thing that everyone else is thinking but is too afraid to say. He is the one who points out the elephant in the room. This honesty is a superpower. It makes you the center of attention and the arbiter of truth. People will come to you because they know you will not sugarcoat reality. They will fear your tongue and respect your mind. The seventh law is the power of unavailability. The nice guy is always there. He is the one who picks up the phone on the first ring. He is the one who stays late at the office. He is the one who is always ready to help. And because he is always there, he is worth nothing. In economics, value is determined by scarcity. To increase your value, you must become scarce. You must disappear. You must have parts of your life that no one else has access to. Your time must be a premium product. When you are no longer the available guy, people have to work to get to you. They have to respect your schedule. This unavailability creates a sense of intrigue. It makes you a mystery to be solved. The eighth law is the law of the sovereign gaze. Look at how a nice guy walks through a crowd. He is constantly scanning for approval. He makes eye contact and smiles and nods. He is trying to broadcast that he is not a threat. A man with an integrated shadow walks with a different gaze. He looks through people. He is not seeking feedback. His gaze is heavy and calm. When he does make eye contact, it is not a submissive nod, but a cold recognition. This gaze alone can command a room. It tells the world that you are a predator who has chosen peace, but that the predator is still there, just beneath the surface. The ninth law is the embrace of the villain arc. Every great story has a moment where the hero realizes that to win, he must stop following the rules of the society that failed him. This is the villain arc. For you, this means accepting that people will call you selfish and cold and arrogant. Let them. Their labels are just a reaction to their loss of control over you. When you are called a villain by the weak, it means you are finally doing something right. You are finally living for yourself. This is the only way to achieve true greatness. You cannot build a cathedral without breaking the ground. You cannot build a life without breaking expectations. The 10th law is the law of the black hole. A black hole is so dense that not even light can escape its pull. This is the ultimate state of the integrated man. You become so grounded in your own reality and so firm in your own shadow that the world has no choice but to be sucked into your orbit. You do not go to the world comes to you. You do not chase opportunities chase you. You are the fixed point in a turning world. This is what Jung meant by the process of individuation. It is the journey of becoming so completely yourself that you become a force of nature. In conclusion, the nice guy is a ghost. He is a person who has never truly lived because he was too busy trying to be what everyone else wanted him to be. The integrated man is the only one who is truly alive.
Wake up the monster and give him a seat at the table. Watch as the world that used to ignore you suddenly begins to bow. You are no longer a rabbit. You are a sovereign. You are a black hole in a world of blinding and useless light. The world does not obey the good. It obeys the whole. Go and become whole.